96.7 KCAL rocks. We have a lot to discuss in the sports world. That's why we got our guy, Pep. Let's check in with him. What's going on, Pep?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody out there. Yeah, a lot going on, especially right here in our own backyard. NASCAR rolled into Fontana this weekend. We had the big Cup Series race on Sunday, the Wise Power 400, as Kyle Larson, your defending Cup champion, back in victory lane, getting the win at Auto Club Speedway. And Patrick, you were actually out there.
I was out there, and I do have some highlights for you guys. First of all, remember we talked about it on Thursday that the big guy from the Rams, Andrew Whitworth, was going to be doing the big start your engines thing, right. And he was there with Matthew Stafford. Yeah, so he brings out Stafford and says, hey, from your Super Bowl championship Rams, and him and Stafford shared the gentleman, Stafford says, and then Whitworth said, start your engine. So that was very cool.
Nice.
And then it was a great race, very exciting, wrecks all over the place. No one got hurt, thank God. But the track was very bumpy exiting the turns, and there was about 7 to 8 huge wrecks. Kyle Larson was up front all day, and so was another kid with the last name of Reddick. He was up front all day until a tire got cut down. Boom, that's racing. He led the entire day, cuts down his tire. He's done. Kyle Larson wins.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I thought my boy Reddick was gonna get the checkered flag in that race. In fact, he's a Northern California guy. I believe Larson is too, by Sacramento. But yeah, I thought Reddick was gonna get that. But yeah, Larson getting the win at California. And Patrick, you're talking about all the wrecks because Auto Club Speedway, it's a big track. You can go 4 or 5 wide and sometimes have no issues. It's not one of the smaller tracks where you get all these crashes and pileups. But it sounds like there was a lot, and you got to I say enjoy in quotations, enjoy the carnage.
You do like seeing the wrecks, but it was the home of 5 wide. They did a big 5 wide salute where they lined up all the cars 5 wide and went around to everybody because they were like glad to be back after the huge break. My son, Ryan, my youngest one, he's 7 years old. He's a big Chase Elliott fan. Chase Elliott went into the wall a couple times. He finally backs his way all the way up to the front by the end of the race, and his teammate Kyle Larson basically puts him into the wall, and he wins.
Man, that's racing. Rubbin's racing, man. What's crazy, too, you bring up Chase Elliott. I'm getting to the point where I'm old enough to remember his dad, Bill Elliott, right? Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Like, all these NASCAR legends are having sons who are now great NASCAR drivers. So it's generational. They pass it on.
Yeah. If you didn't know, Chase Elliott is the most popular NASCAR driver, a lot of people believe, because of the lineage. And who is the most hated? When Kyle Busch came around,
yeah.
The booze
still is.
Down, and I'm like, that makes me like Kyle.
Yeah, he's just like the NASCAR heel for sure.
I love it.
Yeah, hey, every sport's got one, right? Like that villain, that goon, that team or that player everybody can root against. That's Kyle Busch, man. That's Kyle Busch on the NASCAR circuit. So. Yep. Yeah. Congrats to Kyle Larson, your big winner at Auto Club Speedway yesterday. And Patrick, you brought up the Rams, Matt Stafford, big Andrew Whitworth out there, but other big Rams news coming out. And I don't know if there was much behind this, but Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, actually had to come out and say, I will be returning to the Rams. 5 seasons with the Rams, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl championship. But there's a lot of money in television and other opportunities. And I guess he was maybe mildly entertaining those opportunities, but he is coming back to the Rams like we all assumed he would do.
I think they have to run it back. And I was very surprised to hear all that talk at the end where, Aaron Donald is going to retire and he's going to retire. It's like, what? Yeah. You finally just made it there. Now see how many you can get.
I mean, with Sean McVay, he has now been to 2 Super Bowls. He has won 1, but he is on a contract where they are paying him like he is a 33-year-old head coach, which he was when he got the job. So I think that was his thing, is use a little bit of leverage, use some of this TV stuff that's coming in, and just show that, look, you are very clearly worth way more than you're being paid. He is going to get paid big time here coming up soon. And whether it is football or ESPN or something like that, because we just saw Aikman got broken off $17.5 million.
Yeah.
So
we all can agree he's a great coach and deserves to get paid more.
Yeah.
Listen, I know broadcasters work hard. You guys know that. I know that. But come on, man. If you're going to make $17 million a year and work less than an NFL head coach, like, why would you not do that?
Yeah, none of the stress of the season and all that stuff. You just get to talk about football and then be loved by everybody because you know everything.
Hey, ask John Gruden.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
What a huge fall.
It blew John Gruden's career up going to ESPN doing all that stuff. And then people were like, well, he was in the Super Bowl. Like, Never mind the fact that it wasn't really his team that got him there.
Should have stayed in that booth. Should have stayed there.
Yeah, well, if you're a Rams fan, Sean McVay is coming back. And again, what is he, with 36? Something like that?
Yeah, 36.
36,
Plenty
yeah.
of time for him to just kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Way too early to retire. He's coming back. He'll probably be around for a long time with the Rams. Guys, let's shift gears to college basketball. Here we are, the final day in the month of February before we get to March and March Madness for college hoops. And college hoops, I don't know if you guys paid attention to it over the weekend because we did have NASCAR here locally. But the top 6 teams ranked in the top 25 all lost. The top 6 teams in the country all lost. And now it's like there is no clear-cut favorite to win the big dance. And I think that's what makes this all so exciting going into March Madness is like there's probably a dozen, maybe 20 teams that you feel like, okay, they could actually make a run and win the whole thing.
No, we know how volatile it is already. I mean, it's called March Madness, but you're right. Normally there's a few teams who are just juggernauts.
Yeah.
Now, there's juggernauts, but there's so many of them now. There is more parity at the top. I agree. This should be the true definition of March Madness coming up. Get ready to bust out the brackets.
Pretty much the opposite of what last year was. Last year it was like, hey, these 2 teams are the dominant teams. We knew that going in. This year it's like, okay, it seems like there's a lot of teams that could be the team.
Yeah.
Like it.
And you're right. It's usually top heavy. Like there's usually 3, 4 teams, maybe 5 teams. You're like, okay, they're the best. That's going to be your final 4. We'll have to battle it out. But no, this year I'm like, I don't know, man. Anybody can lose.
Remember, Kentucky had 2 teams at one time. They had the blue platoon and the white platoon. Yeah. It's not that way anymore.
No, like there's a lot of parity, you know, like these superstars come in for a year or 2, then they're gone. So, you know, teams can be great one year and the next year they've fallen off and, you know, taking a tumble from their perch atop, the college basketball world. But this year, you know, Gonzaga was, you know, the clear number 1 team in the country, and they lose on the road at St. Mary's College. And St. Mary's is really good. Don't get me wrong. They are a really good basketball team. But if you're number 1 Gonzaga, you shouldn't be losing that game.
Nope. Right.
So it's going to be a lot of fun going into March Madness. And finally, not so fun if you're a Laker fan. I don't know how else to put it. It was just an awful, awful home loss against the Pelicans last night, 123-95. I mean, it was a blowout. The Lakers got blown out by New Orleans, and now they're 6 games below 500. And guys, I mean, there's no end in sight. Like, there's no switch to flip. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how these guys turn it around in time.
No, and the boos rained down on the Lakers. You could tell that the Laker fans, even that there was a rumor that there was a riot. You didn't hear anything about that, did you?
No.
Yeah, there's rumors that the fans were going bananas. I haven't heard that much about it. I just saw a headline. Could be clickbait, but the boos definitely rained down. LeBron, I can't think of the last time LeBron has had to hear boos.
I mean, it's to the point where, you know, we're after All-Star break for them. Like, this is the point where you should be ramping up for the playoffs. It just doesn't feel like that's going to happen this year. I mean, they're outside of it right now. It just doesn't look like it's going well.
Yeah.
No, they lost to the Pelicans Sunday. Then it was Friday night. They lost to the Clippers. The Clippers are actually 3-0 against the Lakers during the regular season. And guys, if this all pans out, the Lakers continue the tailspin. And let's say they get into the play-in tournament as like the number 10 seed. They could play the Clippers in that play-in game, in that play-in little tournament to get to the top 8. So, and the Clippers are already 3-0 against the Lakers. It just does not look good any way you slice it.
No, that'd be a real dangerous game for the Clippers, though, I think, for some reason. Because the Lakers are like, screw it, we can ruin their day.
Well, because the Lakers have LeBron. Like, you always feel like they got a chance because they got LeBron. You just never know what's going to happen. But right now, like, even LeBron can put up these huge monster games, and it's not enough.
We found the LeBron killer. It is Russell Westbrook.
His own teammate. Not even another team. It's his own teammate that's bringing it down.
Some doozies, I'll tell you. We have a lot to look forward to in sports. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
It's going to be a fun couple of weeks coming up in March. You can check us out, Inland Sports, all over social media, including the Gram, Facebook, Twitter, and the Inland Sports YouTube channel. And we'll try to keep you up to date on what's going on with Major League Baseball as the lockout will hopefully end soon. Who knows?
Thanks, Pep.
Hold.